Good morning and welcome to Little Steps Facebook Live. So just a few friendly reminders before we get started. We are live twice a month. If you want to get reminded on our Facebook Lives, go to our Facebook events calendar and click the ones that you're interested in. Now don't forget to subscribe to all our weekly newsletters in all major cities across Asia, from Kuala Lumpur to Singapore to Hong Kong. The link is in the subscription, so please subscribe. Now we are live, so feel free to ask us any questions. We can answer them here right now, and we can also answer them on a later date if you still feel like asking us questions. So here we go. Let's get started with our topic. So here at Little Steps, one of our main goals, of course, is to inform parents of all new types of education. And the ones that are getting a lot of heat lately is forest schools and the importance of outdoor education. Now we're here with the two key members of the Backyard Gang. They're perfect in explaining why outdoor education is so important. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Forgetting about the mic here. So Chris here is the founder and Emma is his business partner, and they're from the Backyard Gang. They offer an array of amazing services, from the Backyard Gang to the Backyard Explorers, to educational services for schools, to epic birthday parties, to even team building events and events for grown-ups. So the options are endless, and their enthusiasm is endless for working outside and working with kids. So welcome.
Hi. How are we doing?
You got a mic? Perfect.
We do.
So can you tell us a little bit more about yourselves?
Well, yeah. My name's Chris Fennell, and Hong Kong's home for me.
Fantastic.
I've arrived here in 2003?
Awesome.
So coming up to 16 years.
That is a long time. It goes so fast.
It does. But hey, we love it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Met my wife here. Got two wonderful kids.
Amazing.
And generally, yeah, this is home.
Fantastic.
And now I'm living the dream.
Awesome. Emma?
Quite literally.
I was actually born here,
Cool.
and lived here till I was about 6. But then I was brought up in the UK, so I was in boarding school there. Was always outside in the countryside, and moved back here about 8 years ago.
Fantastic.
So again, just a lover of the outdoors. All my holidays are
And
climbing mountains and hiking and things like that. So it's a perfect job I think we've got here, just working together, being outdoors
Yes,
with
indeed.
kids, which we love.
Absolutely, and what a great place to be outdoors, Hong Kong. Look at it, we're here right now outdoors doing this wonderful interview. So as usual, we are separating our interview in three key points. So initially we're going to talk about the Backyard Gang and their philosophy. Secondly, we're going to talk about why outdoor education is important. And thirdly, how can we encourage parents to take their kids outdoor and teach them outdoors as well. So let's get started. So first we're going to talk about Backyard Gang and your philosophy.
Yeah, please.
So just to kind of verify what it is, and people kind of confuse forest schools with Backyard Gang, so we just want to get a full overview of what you do. So what made you create the Backyard Gang?
It was quite a funny one. It was, I suppose, opportunity, really. A group of founding families, they approached me and asked me to take their, initially boys, out.
Okay.
Bunch of rambunctious boys that needed to get out and about.
Awesome.
And they approached me and said, Chris, what can you do?
Yeah.
And we spoke about it. We kind of threw a few ideas around, and within a couple of weeks, Backyard Gang was created.
And you do have background in education. You were working with education
very
before,
much.
so it's
15 years, 14 years running a sports
Wow.
coaching company. So
Okay.
we worked with a lot of kids, and
Yeah.
a lot of these founding families were kids that I've known for a long time.
Fantastic.
And I think the initial thing was the trust.
Yes, of course.
The-
Absolutely.
We started like any other startup,
I mean, people just gave the boys to you.
Try-
Do something, please.
we were going left, we were going right, we were,
Yeah.
moving forwards, but it was changing every single day. And the most wonderful thing about it was they trusted me. And they gave me these boys and they said, hey, go. Do what you need to do with them.
And how many?
Well,
how
we
many
started,
did you
well,
get?
it was bizarre. We started with 12.
Okay.
Well, we
that's
started with the
quite a lot.
idea, right?
Okay, yeah.
And then I wanted to make sure the ratios were small, because obviously there are dangers, there are risks, but that's the whole point. We want to expose the kids to a bit of
course,
risk, a bit
but
of,
not too much.
Of course. Calculated
Yeah,
risk,
exactly.
let's say.
So smaller groups better.
Yeah, so we work on a 6-to-1 ratio, and then we started with 12. And this was sort of put out to a group of families, before the summer holidays. I went home to see my family and came back, and there was a wait list already. So before we even started, we had to double that up. So we had Wednesday and Friday going, and then by October it was Tuesday and Thursday, and then by the Christmas the little ones wanted to join too, so that's the birth of the Explorers. And
that's what it exactly stands for. So the Explorers are for the younger children, Backyard Gang for the older kids.
Exactly.
Are you going to add another section for the adults, or is that also called Backyard Gang? Because I know that you do programs for
the adult stuff is under our kind of actual main company, which is Backyard Roots. So that's also our event stuff. So we do quite a lot of events. We've got a few Easter events going on. But our main passion is the kids stuff.
Perfect.
Right?
So just to clarify again, so the Backyard Roots is for the events for all the adults. Backyard Gang, older kids. Backyard Explorers, the younger ones. Perfect. Just so that people kind
of tried to do it. Also
it makes total sense, because I was looking it up like which one is which, and then of course I saw your Facebook, which is Backyard Roots.
Yep. So that's effectively
why
the main company, and then the gang, the Explorers, the event side of things, and the educational services all come under that main.
So a lot going on right now.
We do. It doesn't feel that it's too much.
Okay,
at the
that's
moment,
good. So you're having fun. That's
Yeah.
always, because if it feels
Always.
too much,
Check
that's
with
when
Emma.
you're working.
Yeah, we are having a great time.
Good.
And it's just grown from there.
Fantastic.
So yeah, we are looking at doing a babies one, in the future. Sort of.
Outdoors?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely. Well, I think one of the questions later on is how young.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, we want to do.
Why not?
little
Toddlers
ones.
would be fun.
Exactly.
But I mean, how old is the Explorers bit?
The Explorers, well, we started at 2.
Okay, so that's already toddler age.
We went 2 to 4.
Okay.
Gang starts at 5.
Okay.
However, we have now we kind of stopped it at 3 years old now. So the guys that started at 2, 2.5 are now 3. The difference in abilities is quite considerable.
Yeah, of course. Gross motor skills.
Exactly.
They're huge.
So we're looking at creating that babies one, which will be a lot more sensory play, a lot more sort of socialisation
like sand
stuff.
pits and kind of thing.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit more out there, but not too much.
So effectively, we can kind of, on the ladder effect, we start with the babies, kids get them used to being hot and outdoors and everything else.
Great.
The sunshine, and then the Explorers, we start to sort of progress into the outdoors a little bit more, and then the gang, we're in. We're all over it.
Fantastic. So just to clarify, as I said, forest schools are becoming very, very popular, especially in Hong Kong. And people might confuse that your setup is a forest school. And can you just clarify what the difference is for you, what you see as forest school, or what you see the philosophy of Backyard Gang and how it's not technically a forest school?
Well, initially, we're not a forest school.
Exactly.
Right?
And people confuse that. So
Definitely.
I just want to clarify
Definitely.
that. Yeah.
And I think I'll let Emma chat about the philosophy in a second.
Hold my mic if you like.
Thank you so much.
But I think the main key difference is we don't have attainment targets. Okay. We don't have a structured curriculum as such. We have themes, we have ideas, and it's student-led. So we go out with the gang and we're doing a certain idea, we're doing a certain element, water, wind, earth, fire, and we let the kids kind of take the session on to where it goes.
Yes.
And ultimately we're about play, right? That's the key word that we're always touting. It's not about education. It's about playing. And it's about having fun outdoors. And that's why we have our sort of 4 pillars that keeps us on this road. Yes. And then I'll hand over to Emma to go, otherwise I'll be talking forever.
So our sort of philosophies are based on 4 things. It's the explore, discover, be curious, and create. So every session we do is just around those. So getting the kids to explore their surroundings, explore what there is outside in Hong Kong, discovering new things. It's always about either insects or new trails we haven't seen yet. And then sort of creating those. We create things. We create, rafts.
Where do you get
candles.
your inspiration? How do you get your inspiration? You
We-
just walk around, you just kind of brainstorm together?
Yeah, a lot of it's based on things we both used to do when we were younger.
Great.
Or, ideas we've seen either, on the internet or, Pinterest.
Yes.
Things like that. But it comes from, things we used to do or that
Awesome.
we might just see on a TV program. Like, hang on, we could do
great,
that.
yeah.
To us, anything's possible to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have all these plans in place for each session, but we have objectives and we meet them. But if we see something cool when we're out with the kids, plans a bit out the window.
Yeah,
there's
plans
a
can
cool
change.
stick insect over there. Let's
like
go and look at it. We spent about half an hour one day looking at this giant spider. sort of in the trail, but making its way back up into the web in the tree, and that to us is you know, so we've got to stop. We can't walk past that stuff. We've got to talk about it with the kids.
And how is that taken by schools? Because I can imagine, having worked in schools myself, sometimes schools can be very rigid in their ways, especially here in Hong Kong. And if all of a sudden you want to take half an hour and just looking at one insect, I can imagine they can get a little... How is the overall enthusiasm for how you do things? Because it's very different to the normal educational things, how things are done in Hong Kong, because it's far more free, and I like that, and I think kids like that too. But has it been welcomed by the schools in a way? Have you been happy about it, how it's going?
I mean, I think it's gone very well, and it's something we talked to the schools about before we start.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
They have all our plans, all our risk assessments, everything they need, and you know, but on the day there are certain things that change. We do, you know, with one school at the moment, we're out doing the same activities each week with the different class, but you know, we've said to them they're not going to be the same week by week. You know,
no, you
we're on the
switch
beach at the moment, so you know, sometimes the tide's in, sometimes it's out, and it, you know,
if
the
it rains,
activities.
the whole activity
well, exactly,
changes. Exactly.
And
you should, yes.
It's been received very well, and people sort of understanding that, and it's what they want, getting the kids out.
Awesome.
You know, any weather.
Awesome.
You know, providing it's safe to do so. So yeah, it's gone down.
Great. And what lies for the future? What's next? What are you expanding? Are you got more explorers? You got babies coming up now.
I have lots of ideas.
Of course, we all have Well, what's in for the next foreseeable future? What do you see like in the next few months that you know is going to happen?
Our key goal is to carry on what we're doing.
Yes, of course.
We're seeing such development in the kids. As Emma mentioned the schools, you know, we're seeing them not wanting to sit down on the grass.
Yeah.
And the next time we see them, they're rolling in the sand.
Okay. Yeah.
So we want to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And
oh, sorry.
Sorry. And I want to make sure. I want to make sure that we don't get carried away in the sort of the typical Hong Kong. We need to go big. We need to go quick. We want to, because we want to share our ideas. We want to share our passion.
But you want it to be good.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
I get that.
As I said earlier on, it's trust, right? And it's an experience for the kids.
And it's people's children. Yeah.
So we want to go bigger. We want to expand. We have an overwhelming response. We've got quite a big waiting list. So we need to be... And it's
just so you know.
Sorry. It's about personalities, right? We can't just pull anybody off the street and bring them into the team. We need to be able to trust them. We need to be able to do that. So that's what we're doing at the moment. We are
looking for
hunting for those right people who not only have a passion for us, but understand the ebbs and flows of
your philosophy as well, what you stand for. Absolutely.
Yeah. So first of all, we're looking for staff. Anyone out there knows anyone? Please put them in touch with us. Genuinely, we're looking around everywhere.
Yeah, I know. Your email will be linked here below. So if you are looking to join the Backyard Gang, email them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's awesome. We're having a lot of fun.
With kids. I mean, we're little, so we love working with
kids. And it's one of those. We'll carry on with the schools. The schools are increasing the amount they want us. And again, Emma was saying we've got a great response there. The gang is going to be expanding. The Explorers is going to be feeding into the gang. We are potentially looking at expanding into a sort of a headquarters where we'll be able to use take the outdoors inside.
More for babies as well. Where
exactly. Summer when it gets really hot. You know, we're still out in the summer.
Summer is on your way.
Hot,
it's
right.
Humidity's mad here. People faint. And
yeah,
exactly. I'm a sweaty mess just coming up here.
Up the mountain.
So we're going to move on next to our next topic. So for those who are just joining us, we are here joined by the Backyard Gang, and we are discussing the importance of outdoor education. We've just finished our first topic of the philosophy of the Backyard Gang and exactly what they stand for. And now we're moving on to why is outdoor education really important? So we're moving on next. So why is outdoor education important? Well, this might be a silly question for you, of course. But why is it important? What are the benefits and why is it important for kids?
Should I take this one, shall I?
Yeah, well, either or.
Either way.
Thank you.
Cameras coming.
I think our main thing before we go into it is that I think the perception of outdoor education is, you know, rock climbing, dangerous things, abseiling, all of this, which we want to reiterate is not what we do. But, you know, what we find is just about being outdoors, experiencing the things around it. You can already hear all the insects and stuff that's around here and all the different trees, rocks, you know.
We saw an amazing lizard just on
the
on the way up. So
it's
about getting the kids outdoors, and especially in Hong Kong, I think it's very important. You know, it's so hot here in the summer, as we've already spoken about. A lot of activities are indoors, you know, in the air condition, and I think, especially because not many families have, big gardens and things like that, like, we were used to growing up in the UK, that, it's important that, we're encouraging it out here, out in Hong Kong.
If I can
Yes,
take
of
that.
course. Probably
But
to add something.
for outdoor education being so important, and I see that you want to get babies involved. Many parents will think, what age is the right age to start? Is it to start straight while they're walking, or while they're crawling? Or
Yeah, again, I think this is kind of where we differ slightly from other perspectives.
Yeah,
because
and it's your opinion as
this
well.
is very much,
This is your opinion. This is not like
this is all based on
what
experience that we've had working with kids. I mean,
yes,
collectively we've got nearly 30
for everybody
years
it's different.
With little kids,
yeah.
And if everyone is different, so we're certainly not trying to preach our philosophy, but if people agree with it and kind of go, oh, okay,
that could be a right age. Right. It's just kind of giving people ideas of.
There isn't an age.
No, there isn't.
There are no parameters to outdoor education.
Okay.
This is, I suppose, what we're trying to get to. It's the outdoors does the learning for you, right? As long as you look out and you're looking, you'll be able to see, and the learning happens naturally. So, taking a baby to the beach.
Taking baby in a stroller in a park, I guess.
Letting the baby experience how it is to be hot.
Exactly.
Taking the toddler, to somewhere like this and letting them just walk around. I mean, there's another little thing that, rather than taking all the bags and, the buckets and spades down to the beach, you don't need to. Because the beach has everything that you can play with there. It has rocks, it has sand, it has water, it has wildlife. You can just turn up to a beach and just play.
But what if you're yourself like myself, and I didn't come from a very outdoorsy family. My mother was very almost against outdoors in a way. And now I am becoming, now in my later years, I'm becoming more of an outdoorsy person. But it's still a little bit scared, and I wish I had started younger. Yeah. But how do you tell those people that are not very outdoorsy themselves? How do you then explain to them, just take your kid outside if they have no ideas on what to do?
It's like you said, taking a kid in a stroller.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
We're not trying to say, right, put your hiking boots on. Climb up that mountain. Go do this. Go snake hunting. Go do this. Go pick up spiders. Okay, it's not about that.
It's not about
all.
that.
It's just about exposure.
Exactly.
And instead about, I suppose, concreting that exposure by asking the kids questions and letting them ask questions. And one thing that we're kind of a philosophy is that we're not afraid to say we don't know.
That is very
good.
And
I think as a dad myself, I get all these questions that
why is the sky blue? Why is this? I don't know.
I'm very happy to turn around and go, you know what, buddy? I don't know.
Let's look it up.
Exactly. And then we have a research project. We have a way to take what we saw outside back home. I mean, just yesterday we were talking about pythons and, bamboo vipers with my little boy. He asked me a question. He's like, don't know.
Let's look it up.
Let's find out.
We got phones now. You can look up anything.
And this is something that I think you can be doing while you're out and about. You don't need to have a plan. You can just go on a little family hike like we did today. It's flat, or you can go up the mountain. It's very easy. It's just having the tenacity to actually do it. Because I think a lot of people put too much into their heads on what they think outdoor education is, what they should be doing, should they have a plan ahead. Yep. But maybe it's just taking your kid outside. It is. And one thing I think as well is it seems daunting or it seems, uncomfortable to go outside in the hot weather.
Yeah.
But when you get home and you see your kid hot and sweaty but with a beaming smile on their face, talking to you the next day about what they saw. Oh my goodness, I know what that is. Look at this, look at that, look at the mountain.
No iPad can do that.
Right? And it's, it might be a bit sweaty for you. You might have a few mosquito bites.
Yeah. You'll get over it.
Yeah.
And when that smile is precious as well.
It is. And that experience, that memory that we're creating and you're creating with your kids is worth that little bit of sweat.
Absolutely.
Those calves burning as you walk up a hill. It's worth it.
But another question that I wanted to ask now, as I said, forest schools are becoming very popular. Yeah. Do you think that people should be looking out for schools that offer this, or should outdoor education just be involved in your day-to-day basis, or do you necessarily need to look for schools that offer this?
It's in our current environment, again, my opinion, entirely, right?
Yeah, of course.
That I feel in Hong Kong, the schooling system, there's quite a lot of pressure of, the state of the schools, where we're going and everything else.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A lot of the schools are doing forest school now, which is fantastic. Right?
I agree. Absolutely.
They're involving it in there, and we're getting a lot of interest from schools about going in and doing it.
You're fully booked.
Which is amazing, and I think that's it. In terms of whether we're looking for a school deliberately to serve that, it's a great want to have.
But
right?
it's not a necessarily a huge necessity as long as you know how to take your kids outdoors as well.
That's key, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It shouldn't be something that, well, I feel it shouldn't be something that is, you know, relied upon in school to deliver this for you. It's like, go outside. When you come home from school, walk back to wherever you're going, you know, involve it in your day-to-day lives. As we're saying, it's not this kind of structured, we're going and doing some outdoor education. We're going for a walk. We're going outdoors. And I suppose it's a part of life, in a sense. I want people to sort of include it in
we
their
are
life
from the nature,
rather than going, oh, I've got to get into that school because it's got this. Outdoor education is just being outdoors, and we can all do it.
Why do you think schools are slowly stepping away from that, from the traditional sense of being in that 4x4 classroom, and now outdoors becoming more important, people coming in and out? Why do you think why do you think we're stepping away from the traditional? I mean, I'm glad that we are.
Yeah, right. It's cool.
Who cares about exams? I'd much rather do my exam outdoors than in
Wouldn't we all?
But I mean, it's becoming so apparent now, especially in the last 10 years, that schools are really stepping away from the traditional sense of how even I did school, or my mom did school, or my grandma did school. Yeah. And why do you think we're moving towards this kind of new wave of education?
I mean, I think that they're just seeing the benefits.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the energetic kid is more engaged because that energetic kid is able to just, you know, get out some of that energy. The creative kid is more inspired because they've more to draw from. Group dynamics are better because the kids aren't all squashed into a little space.
Yeah.
Kids are resolving conflict quicker because they're left, well, especially what we're seeing, they're left to, you know, resolve things themselves within reason, obviously. And generally, they're building relationships, they're building experiences, and then the coolest thing about this is when they go back into that confined space.
Yes.
And they're learning about these things that could be theoretical, they're actually able to draw on what they've seen outside.
Fantastic.
They're able to see and understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, you're learning about geography, you're like, I know what you're talking about now.
Exactly.
And they can actually pull on those experiences they've had outdoors into the classroom. And they're also, you know, it's playtime.
Absolutely.
You know?
Now, a question that
I'm going to give you that. So I'll stop talking.
That's all right.
a question that I didn't put in my script, and I hope I didn't catch you off guard. But how about special needs? Do you handle with kids with special needs? Do you have a program for that? I was just thinking as well.
We don't at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, it's something that we would love to work with. We did a charity event a few months ago where we met a group up at the Peak. And we did tug of war, we did giant bubbles, we did races. Yeah. These guys were low-income families from Shamshu-Po, and
they're just so ecstatic, aren't they?
I mean, we had a guy. He must have been in his 80s.
Awesome.
And he was playing tug of war.
Oh, that would have been paid. Did you get videos?
And it was wonderful.
I can imagine.
It would definitely be something we would love to be able to work with some.
Just the
I can
excitement
imagine
on their faces
because I
when
feel
they
like
come out.
and the special needs is an area where it gets quite ignored here in Hong Kong. And outdoors, I can imagine these two would just blend so well, and it just popped in my head. I was like,
No, absolutely.
Something we thought about, but it's a question of time.
It's a question of time. Staff. Exactly. So
it's great. I mean, all of them, all the kids from any spectrum, any abilities, physical abilities, getting outside
is important.
It's refreshing.
Exactly. Well, on that point, for those who've just joined us, we are doing a Facebook Live on the importance of outdoor education. We have just finished our second topic, which was why is outdoor education important and the benefits of it. And we've also done the Backyard Gang and their philosophy. We're now moving on already to our last topic. But first, we're doing something, right? Yeah, I think we're going to be moving. We're going to be moving. So we're going to be walking. So follow us. Where are we going?
Just go down the path over here.
So...
You got the mic?
I've got one.
We're attached.
Won't trip over.
No. I'll move away. But, she's got shade, don't trip. Maybe or the person behind the camera will fall. So where are we? So is this usually a spot that you have, that you choose?
We've used it quite a little bit before.
Okay.
Some of our camps, we used to run a gang near here as well.
Yeah.
So we know the area quite well, but it's perfect. It's easy to get to. It
Absolutely.
took us 15 minutes to get up.
Nothing. And we even had a secret passageway.
Yeah.
The lizard. No, the lizard. Cool.
But it's got so much, all the way around. There's rocks they can go over.
Kids
There's
all ages.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Even this, as like a
Like-
child, I would sit here for hours.
I mean, just navigating the rocks, being out here, the views, which we'll see in a minute, are just, amazing.
Do you
So-
need to get a lot of permission? Are you allowed to bring in, I was thinking that like a group of 12, 13 children, I mean, I know it's public space,
Yeah.
but is it hard to sometimes get it together and bring the kids together? Do you need any type of permission to go into public spaces?
We're at the moment, because we're smaller numbers.
Okay, perfect.
If we were to go out with a large group, I believe we need to then get
Yeah.
permits,
Yeah.
because then it's things. But
Because-
at the moment, as far as we're concerned, we're just using the public land and educating.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
local kids.
Using it what it's
But
meant
it's
to be
just
here
that
for.
thinking about also parents who might want to do a birthday party or something if they want to do it themselves, that they don't need to know that it doesn't need any
Look,
permit.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
public space, it's outdoors, and if we do get in trouble, I'm going to fight it. What are we? We're not doing anything.
No,
We're
absolutely.
looking out for the environment. I
Exactly.
mean, we spent 3 weeks tidying up after Typhoon Bangkok. The
Yeah.
kids were out there. We were tidying up. We were
That's such a
clearing out
good idea.
places, which was a lesson for the kids.
Yeah.
We were doing our bits. It was fantastic. Anyway, I wanted to stop you here.
Yes.
because I want to try and give some ideas.
Of
right,
course.
for parents that are so simple
Of course.
that you wouldn't even think about.
Please.
Right? So if we just turn with the stairs, we just walk down.
Yeah, so if we want
We count stairs.
Okay.
Right? Whenever we walk downstairs or
Great
walk
for
upstairs,
counting.
we count.
Great
Right?
for
It
colours as well. What
may-
colours do you see?
Exactly. It
Yeah.
may seem
Yeah,
really
yeah.
simple.
Oh, there she goes.
Go, go, go.
How many?
Oh!
I think there's 15.
Come back, Nat.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
You remembered.
Yeah.
Wow. Remembered well.
You know,
No, these are great activities.
Yeah,
just
simple
like that.
things.
Simple things. Just count.
and you can do it backwards on the way up. And
You know,
then,
different
you know,
languages we do with the kids. You know, we do it in
Exactly.
English and we
You
do it in
know,
Mandarin.
Mandarin,
Cantonese.
yes.
Who knows any other languages?
It's
Perfect.
funny,
And
with
it's-
Mandarin, I know 1 to 3. So I
You
go,
start them off.
eat Ersan, and then the kids just follow.
And then you're like,
I'm just
yes.
thank goodness.
I know your classes are always fully in English, right?
Yes. We would love to move into the Cantonese.
Of course.
But, you know.
Be
Your
great to hire
Cantonese isn't
some-
up to scratch.
Hire somebody who's bilingual. It's always
Exactly.
great.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
And then,
So show us more.
Again, here, right?
Yeah.
We would stop. We would explain to these kids, what is this creating? And they'll say, it's a roof, blah, 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 blah. And then we'll talk about, why would we want to stand under it? What's it called? It's called a canopy. So we would do that, and then later on we would say to the kids, right, run back and be under the canopy. So they've then
Okay.
got to remember
Remember the word.
where it is, what it looks like, what it is, what it looks like, and where to go.
Yeah.
And another little thing that is so easy for parents to do is like, right, can you look into these trees and find me a letter?
That's such
Yeah.
a good idea.
I mean, you do
Where's-
it now.
I'm
Where's the
thinking,
letter?
I see a V.
Okay.
Okay,
I
great.
see a V. It could be an S, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Well, I can see an L if I want
Yeah.
to make that there. So yeah, that's great. I love that.
So we could do this
Imagine
for
an
ages.
imagination of
Do
a
the whole
child.
alphabet.
Right? I mean, this
You'll
is. No, I'm taking
Yeah,
this.
you take
I'm
that
not.
one.
You're not allowed it. Sorry. And again, a little thing I'm going to challenge you now,
Yeah.
real
Yes.
quick. Give me that one as well.
Okay, go for
So
it.
again, a very simple, easy thing is, because you're going to do it too,
Oh, right.
right?
Challenge.
So, again, this would take 3 or 4 minutes
Yeah.
with your kids. Like, could you please write A, B, C in sticks right on the floor?
Let's do it. Let's go.
All right.
Hold on, I think it's frozen. I think I ran off. She's sorry.
Oh, are we back? It'll probably come back. It's 30 seconds.
Come back when we're finished.
If I can get a B, a B is quite hard.
Oh, Emma's being pretty competitive here.
I do this quite a lot.
So Emma's got an A and a B. Nikki's got an A
Curly stick for my stick.
and a B.
There you go.
B. Okay. Oh, you gotta see.
Yeah, look at that. You bent it. Easy.
It's almost. There we go. ABC. It's not as good as yours, but mine's big.
We're back on.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
See
Well done.
Like that.
So it's a 2-minute thing. There's your cards
you.
back.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a 2-minute thing.
Yeah, no, go for it. I'll take it.
It's language,
are
it's
all-
alphabet.
Exactly.
It's simple.
Their name, they,
Look at
draw
your hands.
pictures.
You're
Exactly.
dirty. You're picking up sticks. You might have touched a stick with a thorn on it. You might have, done all these little bits and bobs. You might have picked up a dirty stick. You might have picked up a. Yeah. They are very cool pumps.
Thanks.
That's so simple, right?
Absolutely, and this is exactly the kind of things that parents get a little bit scared of thinking of themselves when you can just do things like this that are super
And then,
easy.
while we're just here quickly, I mean, you mentioned colours earlier on.
Yes.
Right? So one thing we'll do with the younger ones as well is, you know...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Go for it.
Find 5 different colours of leaves, please.
Green, yellow.
Yeah, look at this. And it's little things like, you know, you can hear the crunching of the leaves under your feet. Now, we wouldn't
bright
think
yellow
that's
one there.
an educational perspective, but actually, you're already doing sensory learning. Great. And that's easy. And then,
I think that's great.
but the next thing is put them in age order. And then you've got another lesson,
which came
right?
off the tree
Which
first.
one's the youngest? Which one's the oldest? Which different colours do you see? Pick them up. Which one's crunchy? Which one's soft and squidgy?
So many ideas.
It's so...
It's endless.
It is. And we haven't moved from this spot,
Exactly.
right? So this can be
I
done
see now where
outside. You know, all you need is a tree. All you need is a few fallen leaves. All you need is a few branches. And then look, if we go through here then... Do you want to grab
You
that?
take one of those.
We'll walk
We'll
on.
move these sticks so that nobody's...
Oh, that's another fun one. If you've got siblings, you do a sibling challenge, and then the sibling destroys the other sibling's work, which you've never seen Smiles Bigger.
Oh!
You know,
I don't
they're-
have siblings, but I always wanted
Yeah.
one just so I can tease them.
They're allowed to go and mess up the sibling's work, which is just fun. And then this, right? You'd walk past this quite easily.
Yeah.
But
And then look at all the flowers. You can
just climbing on it.
Yes.
Just, you know, and there's different levels on this. If you look, you can see this is great for your 2-3-year-old, and then if you wanted to do a little bit of, you know, harder stuff for your 4-5-year-olds up there, and you set them different challenges. Who can walk across the top? Who can come down the black? If it's wet, we can talk about, you know, the dangers of slippery rocks. And
wear different shoes.
exactly.
Why are those shoes better than the
Yeah.
other ones?
If there's some moss on a rock, it's like, is the green rock going to be slippery? Is the black and shiny rock going to be slippery? And they can try it.
How do you find children here in Hong Kong with their idea of getting dirty? Because, you know, I mean, I know this is because I know I've been a teacher and I always like, it's fine, just get dirty,
Yep.
it's okay. And it's one thing that I think parents here need to kind of figure out, it's okay to be dirty in a way.
Our gang kids, so the kids that come every week, I think they're, whether or not they started as they are now, I'm not sure. I think they've changed throughout. But as soon as it's raining, they're picking up mud, making mud pies, throwing mud at each other.
Fantastic.
Which is great to see. I mean, the schools I think have been slightly different. They've needed a lot more encouragement to try and actually, you know, at the beginning it was sit down on the floor, it's okay. The grass is okay, but
We've got to do this, haven't we?
yeah.
Oh, well, the Asian squad is...
It's okay.
The Asian squad is one of our things, having to...
Yeah.
But I know what you mean, yes. I mean, they are very afraid of sometimes.
Yeah, but we've had some classes come out 2 or 3 times now, and the difference already in those few hours we've had with them is just amazing. You know, the first one is shy coming out like, where am I? Is it okay to sit down?
Why
And
do you
then,
want me to touch twigs?
Yeah, and then they are, you know, running around,
Yeah.
rolling down grass hills in the sand, picking up shells. We were at the beach the other day, playing with hermit crabs, things like that. Which, you know, it's just amazing to see how much they're already coming out of their shells.
Butterfly, sorry.
Butterfly.
I think another thing that we've noticed as well is the parents, right? I mean, the other week we went out in the smashing rain. It was horrendous, but these parents are there waiting for their kids under umbrellas, and they're there, and these kids got stripped off, you know, put into the cars, and the fact that they're okay with that, having their kids empty wellies out full of water and, you know, popping a towel around their shoulders to put them in the car, going home for a hot shower. The response we get from the parents is
I love it.
they're helping us, and they're
Yes.
accepting that this is the case, and to the point where we're almost like, if the kids come home too clean or not hot and sweaty or not like knackered,
Do we need to get buckets of mud on the side?
have we achieved what we were trying to do? But that's one of the sides of what we're doing, right?
Fantastic.
And I think the support and the trust of the parents and the fact that we don't get eyes rolled at us and like, oh, what am I supposed to do with this now? You know, I need to get
Look at him.
Look at the state of it. But instead, they have a bag, they have the spare clothes ready to go there because they know already.
Great,
And-
they're ready. They know.
And that means the kid's happier.
Fantastic.
The kid doesn't mind getting wet because the kid knows that when they get home or when they get in the car, they've got a spare change of clothes.
And it's good for your immune system.
There's something interesting. I mean,
So we're going to move on to our
Yep.
final topic. But I feel like we've covered a lot of this
Yeah.
topic already on how to encourage parents. So we've already covered what outdoor activities we can suggest. Can you suggest any kind of reading material or material that people can maybe, like I said before, some people can be a little bit scared of the outdoors. Would you suggest any reading or any kind of research that they can do? Any places where you think, if it's not research, suggest an area where a parent might just take their child where you think that's a good beginning?
I think at the moment there's so much out there,
Especially
right?
here.
There's, you can do a quick Google search, and
Yeah.
it depends what depth you want to go into. If you want to, you've got the older kids that are a little bit more adventurous, then, YouTube some of the survival stuff and take the easy stuff, the basic stuff, and do that. Otherwise, there's just so much out there.
Yeah.
In terms of what to do, there is no rule book. And this is the whole point of it. It's just like, just go outside. Just go to the beach. Just take a walk from where you would normally take a taxi, walk. We're out here in Potfulham Country Park. The family trail is an ideal place to start.
Absolutely.
Aberdeen
Or
Country
Llama,
Park.
our family
There's so
trail.
many family
so
trails
many
dotted
family
all over.
trails,
Yeah,
exactly.
The government has a great website. Just Google it. The Agriculture and Fishery Department. They literally have lists. I think you guys might have done a post on it. Lists of family walks.
Yes.
And
I did that.
some are a little trickier to get to. Some take a little bit of effort, and
Exactly.
some are right on your doorstep.
But
Yeah.
we'll put the link down below for that exactly.
Mm.
And we did all the activities.
Well, let's go down. No,
yeah, we
'cause
could do more.
We've got one more.
One more activity.
that we
I
wanna-
thought we did already.
Now this is.
We're moving on.
Look, look at
I
them.
know, I know.
There's no butterflies flying
So many
around. and-
butterflies in Hong Kong.
It's beautiful.
And when I left Europe, they were in the decline, so I
Yeah.
barely saw butterflies. And when I grew up, there were so many. And coming back here, you
that-
see so. You watch your stuff. Don't die. Shay.
So we're gonna. We've got one
So,
of
yeah.
ours here. It's the giant bubbles, right? Now this is.
awesome.
This is again. Bubbles are
our
simple.
kids' dream come true.
Right.
When I used to work in kindergarten, every time I'd say bubbles, people would lose their minds.
Yeah, right. And it's not like what we do with the bubbles is we kind of turn it into a bit of a lesson.
Okay.
We're doing wind direction. We're doing the color spectrum. We're doing how the bubbles are formed.
Okay, awesome.
What's filling the bubbles? It comes under one of our wind elements.
You make it yourself, the bubble.
Yeah. So look, you can see over there. This is all homemade, and this is
I'm
why
definitely
we.
gonna try.
This is why we make things.
I must.
Because the whole point of this is that this isn't. We're not.
So this is you just created it yourself. I can only see a rope in between two pieces of
Bamboo,
between
yep.
two pieces of bamboo.
Mhm.
And then what? Just very liquid?
Well, yeah.
Or is this your secret?
Well, no, I'm happy to share it.
Ingredients
but-
down below.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, but
Going that way.
well, I mean, when I used to make bubble liquid, it was just very liquid, bit of water, and then a little bit of soap from the washing machine.
I'll tell you what the secret ingredient is. Emma will probably tell me off for sharing our secrets.
Sorry, Emma.
So we can see then. You can close it.
Wow.
Oh, nearly pops.
Okay,
No.
you want to tell your ingredients and I can try.
Yeah, please. It might make a few people blush. However, the secret ingredient is it's personal lubricant. I'm not sure we need to put an age rating on that one, but
Family size.
yes, but it's available from every pharmacy you want, and that is the secret ingredient. And what that does, close the wand. Yeah, look at that. Do it.
That is hilarious.
So you can find a recipe online, or I can share it with you guys. But it is a piece of string, 2 bamboo sticks, and 10 minutes of my time. And then if you close it, then it will float away. And then you can be talking about wind direction. You could be talking about the shape of the bubbles. There's just so much. Right.
This is my new thing. I should go.
There you go. Surrounded by bubbles.
No, we've had our little 4-year-olds make these bubbles that are pretty much as long as a bus, and the oohs and the ahs that you get is very cool. So Nikki, if you go stand with your back to us here, no, stay there.
Okay.
Go back, just have your back to the wind.
Yeah. This is the wind direction, yes?
Come this way. So the wind's going to fill the bubble. You'll need to have another dip,
Dip in.
and then the cool thing is the wind will just fill it for you.
Oh, you've got a little thing in the...
Yeah.
Yeah, weight at the bottom.
You want to get all the rope in there,
Okay.
and then keep it closed.
Up even
Turn,
higher.
nice and high. and then open it just slowly and hold it there.
Oh, I see what you... I'll try again. Okay, one more.
Now, while Nikki's perfecting her bubble making, again, if we just look over this way, you know, you can see all the channels and the stream channels that are over in the mountains. Oh, we missed it. We missed the bubble. We missed the bubble.
We're looking at streams.
But we can stand here and talk to the kids for, 15, 20 minutes and ask them questions. What do they see? What forms this? There you go. Now hold it there. Open it nice and wide. And then hopefully, where's the wind?
There it is.
And let the wind just open it.
Woo!
Oh, it's so special.
Right. And you can buy these from there. Can you hold that for a second?
Of course.
But this is one of my favourites.
Oh.
I'm just going to go over here.
This is talking about echoing in the hills. I'd suggest holding your ears because there's a very loud whistle about to happen.
I'll stand here and literally I will go.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I don't know if you can hear it.
Right, but then we'll have the kids go, echo!
That...
Echo! That's so cool.
It...
12 kids screaming echo. The hard bit is trying to stop them.
Of course.
Quiet so they can hear the echo. There's little things like that. Just let a kid shout off the mountain. The smiles that you create, it's just brilliant. And we've got a Peppa Pig book at home that I read my little one. And they go to the top of the mountain and they do this. They do the echo. So then we do it and they can relate it back to the book they've read. And it's all it's cross-curricular. It's bringing outdoors inside. It's just relating everything. And it's just fun.
Absolutely.
Right, it's play.
That is
But they're learning. And they don't know they're learning.
Exactly.
That's exactly what
Which is
you
key.
want. That is key.
Which is absolutely key.
So on that note, we're going to finalize our Facebook
All
Live
right.
already before. Yes. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
It was a wonderful. If you do have any questions on outdoor education, if you want to get in touch with either Backyard Gang or us, all the links, emails are down in the description. And if you do have any questions still, we can always answer you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Our next Facebook Live will be in Singapore, in Eaton House, and where we'll be discussing IGCSE and the importance of IGCSE. So please tune in for that. And thank you for coming in, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Get out.